What's up guys, Black Scout Survival, and today we're going to be talking about how to start a fire. And basically we're going to go over the basics of fire making and kind of like some tips and tricks that I use when starting a fire. And when you're starting a fire you need three things. That's oxygen, heat, and fuel. Okay, your fuel is going to be natural materials that you find. The heat will be a lighter match, ferrous, cerium rod, whatever you can find. And oxygen obviously, and like a primitive fire, oxygen is going to be crucial as far as blowing that ember into a flame. But using a spark-based fire like we're going to do, you're not going to need to do that. Whenever you get put in a survival situation and you're moving about, the first thing you want to be doing is looking for dry material, tender material, if you don't have any man-made on you. So you want to be trying to find that and carry it on you, because if it is wet you can dry it out while you're going to set up your camp or trying to effect a self-rescue. So you want to put it in your pockets and dry it out. Now, in most situations, whenever I go camping or in the field or whatever, I don't use man-made fire starters. I use whatever I find in the field, and basically that's just practice. And I feel like that's what you need to do. Man-made fire starting stuff is petroleum jelly covered cotton balls and Tinder quick tabs and all that kind of stuff. And that's the last ditch fire starting material for me. If it's real wet and I can't find something dry, and I need this to start a fire, that's what I use it for. But most time, like I said, I use what I find out there. The other three components you need is tinder, kindling, smaller stuff, and fuel. Okay guys, so the tinder needs to be dry combustible material. Right here I have some inner bark from a tulip poplar tree, and I'm going to make this into a bird's nest in a few minutes. Then you have, especially in the South, we have fat wood, great material that you can find pretty readily in the South, as I said. Your kindling needs to vary from pencil lead or matchstick size dry sticks, and you need to be able to hear that pop from it. And then beyond that, your next line of kindling should be pinky size or pencil size. Then after that, your fuel should be wrist up to forearm size, and that's just an easy way to remember it. And you need all this stuff to be dry. But like right here I got some inner bark of a tulip poplar tree, and basically you're just going to strip this stuff up. And whenever you're creating getting your materials to start a fire, first off you want to make sure that you get everything in place. You want to get all your fuel, all your tinder, and everything gathered up prior to actually starting that fire, because if you don't, you're going to be trying to run around and trying to get that fire started whenever you could just have it all there and it could go out on you, and then you have to start the whole process over again, and you don't want to do that. So basically I'm just going to strip this up. Another good key is, like, let's say you're in an Arctic environment, you're about to get hypothermia. You're going to need to get 10 times, like once you gather up your material, you need to get 10 times the amount of material that you think you'll need. That way you don't run out. So basically we're just going to fluff this stuff up. And like I said, you need dry combustible material. So you want to strip this stuff up real good and make a good bird nest. Now we have our bird nest made, and what I like to use is a brace. A lot of people use teepee styles or log cabin styles. I just like to use a brace. I find it the most effective, and I'll kind of go over why in just a second. But you want to go ahead and sit your bird nest up against the brace. One, it'll help block wind, protect your bird nest. Move this fat wood out of the way. And see, it takes a light quite quickly. So then we're just going to throw our pencil-sized kindling up here. Let it take a flame. And the good thing about the brace is that you can kind of lift it up to give it fuel, or oxygen, to light all that stuff. Once you got that, you just want to go to your next kindling. And while your brace is, heating up, it'll light as well. And you can just pick that up just to add more oxygen. And you can see, you know, that was quick. Gathered all my stuff up instead of waiting and just gathering one thing at a time. I gathered it all up. And dry combustible material, oxygen, my kindling, you know, matchstick, pencil lead size onto pinky size. And then, you know, we can start adding, you know, fuel. And the other good thing about the brace, you can kind of add stuff to the outside, and what that'll do is allow you to heat up any wood and dry out any wood that may be wet. You can kind of like set stuff to the side there and just like let it heat up and it'll light up. The other thing is, I forgot to mention, you want to make sure you clear out your area so you're not starting a forest fire. You know, I've already did that prior to starting the video. But you can see, fire very quick. Preparation, oxygen, fuel, and heat. And you know, you can use a ferrocerium raw spark base like I did, or you can use a match or flame based. But that's how to start a fire, guys. Real quick and easy. You know, use natural materials whenever you can. You know, I know it's easy for us to use cotton balls and all these other types of tinder out there, but use the stuff you can find out in the wilderness. It'll better prepare you for a true survival situation if you're ever faced in one. Check out blackscoutsurvival.com for more tips and tutorials. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.